Welcome to IFSC Insiders, the podcast that deciphers the latest developments from IFSCA. I am your host 𝐊𝐞𝐲 and I am with CA Pradip Modi sir. And today we are diving into a landmark piece of regulation, the IFSCA TechFin and Ancillary Services Regulation 2025, which was recently notified on July 8, 2025. This new framework is set to be a game changer for GIFT-IFSC. Over the next 15 minutes, we will answer the most important question about what these regulations mean for businesses, innovation, and the future of IFSC. Let's start with the basics. Sir, what exactly is the purpose of the new IFSC TechFin and Ancillary Services Regulation 2025?
See, so far the regulations were there, but in two different compartments. Earlier, the regulation of the TechFin was attached to the FinTech. And ancillary services was the standalone the regulations. Now they try to put it in a one bucket so that at least the service provider can understand that what is the usefulness of this TechFin services along with the ancillary services. So end user can have a benefit and there will be a good combination of the services. That was the purpose, to give the wide canvas to the business community to do the business overseas, and therefore they put it in a one regulation that is called a TechFin and Ancillary Services.
Okay. Sir, the next question is, can you clarify the difference between TechFin and Ancillary Service Provider under these new regulations?
Yeah, so basically the TechFin, all these items which are covered under the TechFin regulations,
yes.
Those are being provided as supportive to the ancillary service providers,
okay,
or to the end users or entity established in that jurisdictions. And as far as the ancillary services are concerned, they are more of a nature of a professional services or any kind of a knowledge centers or so many other things like legal services, secretarial services. They are put under the ancillary baskets.
Okay. So next question is, what is the broader impact of these regulations on the development of GIFT-IFSC as a global finance hub? Give some examples on category of services for better understanding and exploring opportunities.
Very good questions, Abhishek, you have asked. Very, and I will give a detailed reply on this. That will be useful for the listener and the podcast attendants who are attending this podcast. See, basically there are a lot of categories have been added, almost about more than 30 categories under the TechFin they have added.
Okay.
And about more than 20 plus categories have been added in an ancillary service. I will try and give an example of each category of the services, how the business community can evaluate their proposals for doing a business, setting up an office in IFSC jurisdictions and earn 10 years tax-free income.
Okay.
It's a very good initiatives, I will say, that IFSC has taken in a present scenario. And I personally believe that it will be a game changer. It will be a huge landscape changing in the field of the IFSC. See, for example, I will take one by one so that I will give an explanation. Therefore, I need a support of the paper. But it's a detailed service I would like to give to my listeners to give an understanding on this. That artificial intelligence service provider can also set up their office, AI service providers.
Okay.
The example is that AI-driven credit scoring platform, if they will set up in these jurisdictions, then the borrower and IFSC banking unit can take the lot of benefits of these services. Okay. So banking unit in IFSC would use this platform for automate and enhance their credit assessment process. So okay, AI people who are really providing the services, they can also set up offices. Ultimately, the relation between the service provider and intermediary or final consumer should be established in finance sector. That is the basic criteria.
Okay.
The second is, let us say that is a blockchain distributor. They said that one category. A company that develop and maintain a DLT based platform, they can put up their office there. Okay. And finally it can be consumed that services by financial intermediaries like banking and other units which are having a usefulness of the blockchain. Okay. So blockchain, the service provider can also set up their offices in IFSC and they can earn a tax-free income on this. The next is a big data analytics. This firm can provide a big data analytics services to the fund management, because fund management is a very complex subject, and therefore big analytics firm, they put up their offices there and they support the services to the fund management entities there or outside India. For example, suppose they set up an office in this jurisdiction, they can provide a fund management, this kind of a services to the outside India. It means that Dubai or Singapore, the cost is minimal and they can make a use of this data analytics office by setting up there. So that is an advantage for them.
Exactly, sir.
So the fourth category which has been useful is the cyber security solutions. So those who are engaged themselves in a cyber securities. The cyber security is nowadays very useful, and without that in a present environment it's very difficult to survive, because we are everything doing on a digital platform and cyber security is very important. Therefore this entity can provide advanced cyber security services for a fraud detections or risk management and vulnerability of the assessment to protect the digital infrastructure of a stock exchange in IFSC. So this can be used by so many entities in that jurisdictions or outside jurisdictions. Therefore, cyber security services, they can be having offices there in IFSC. They will also enjoy the benefit of this 10 years income. Then regulatory framework, those who are providing on a digital platform, that company also can have the automated the compliance check, any money laundering. So anti-money laundering is nowadays become an essential part, because money laundering is not been allowed by any nations, and therefore any anti-money laundering kind of techniques or technology developer, they can put up their offices in these jurisdictions and they provide the services. They will get exemptions of the 100% income. Then Web 3.0 technology and metaverse. So it's very nowadays you see that as on today the firm will develop a virtual trading floors and based on the metaverse. Then IFSC based brokerage allowing this kind of an activity, and that will be immersed in a digital environment. So they can provide a good platform, and the people will feel that they are having a trading activity where they are sitting there. They will feel that as if they are in a IFSC kind of things. Then cloud computing services, they will also be allowed to set up their offices. You know that the company providing secure and scalable cloud infrastructures. Nowadays, a lot of the Bangalore and Chennai, Pune based, a lot of companies are providing a cloud computing services. Now they are ultimately serving to the outside India, but while sitting there in that jurisdiction. Now they can migrate to this place, they can make another setup in this jurisdiction in IFSC. Same services can be provided to the overseas client as well, and also in IFSC jurisdiction they can provide. And definitely the data storage and other things are inevitable in a present scenario. So cloud computing services they can provide while setting up an office in IFSC, and that digital exchange in IFSC would rely more services on this, and therefore the scalability and the resilience of the high volume of trades and data, all these can be set in a cloud computing services. You know, volume of the business is increasing day by day in our exchanges, and that can be used. Then quantum technology firm also can set up their offices there, and their specialization is the quantum computing, and they can offer to services to the hedge funds more precisely. Not hedge fund in India, but hedge fund in a overseas market. And if they can set up that offices here, they will definitely get a lot of benefits and the world-class infrastructures. So the opportunity has opened up for quantum technology. Then digital identity and biometrics is also another area where they can set up their offices. And that service can offer a biometrics, digital identity verifications to IFSC banking unit, or they can provide the same services to the overseas client as well by making a development of this. So it's a good category they have added it under the TechFin. So technology basically is used in a the expedition of the financial services
Yes.
or the actual financial services provider, and therefore they can help them out, and therefore it is attached to the either ancillary services or the actual user of this technology. Next is the InsurTech. InsurTech may be related to a digital platforms,
Yeah.
and InsurTech is normally being used by startup, and this can help definitely to the insurance companies and other who are taking a risk in other jurisdictions. So this InsurTech is a very good applications. Like insurance company, they make a use of the analysis of the insurance policies, reinsurance policies. So they can make a use of this. And InsurTech is the company, they will provide these services. If they set up this, then globally they can provide services to other global insurance companies as well, or reinsurance companies as well.
Yes.
So there is a huge opportunity. Then wealth techs offer at unparalleled benefits, because as on in a world, the wealth tech technology is always been used for a maximization of the wealth, and therefore each one reach one. That is the concept. That each one reach one, it means that everyone wanted to be rich, and that rich desire to be more richer, and this technology can definitely will help them in a better way. So wealth management firm, they can set up their wealth tech's office there and provide the services to the financial services provider. It will be a great benefit to them. Then trade finance technology. So this platform can be created for the purpose of the trade finance, and that platform is nothing but a automations and secure digital workflow of a processing time and minimize the manual error. And therefore this fintech firm using this technology can also have the trade finance platform, and certainly that will be useful. Then payment infrastructure technology, currently some of the firms are already there in process of doing it, and it's very good to build up and manage the secure payment gateway. So they can come and set up their offices in these jurisdictions, and they will avail the benefit. Then green fintech and ESG solution. This is the new category of the services.
Okay.
Thinking in mind that the global people are thinking, that should be a green tech, and the people make a use of the lesser amount of the fossil fuel, and our environment should be protected. So with that concept, a lot of people are doing a business activity also, like renewable energy is one of that development of a business area. So this technology can make a lot of change, and like green bond, people are now getting issued. The companies are also, ESG is another area where a lot of developments are happening, and therefore the green fintech company, or you may say ESG solution provider, they can also set up their offices, and intermediary acting as a green bond issuer or fund manager, focusing lot of parameters to be measured on a day-to-day basis or on a monthly basis. They can make a use of this for a worldwide green tech, and this can be definitely helpful, and this can be set up in a IFSC. Then technology-based support capital market services. It is I did not have to describe for that, but it is one of the best opportunity. Somebody has to look into this.
Yes.
Then SupTech, that is the supervisory technology, that is also been permitted, and there is a great potentials for this. So these are the various technology based. I have illustrated a few. Some are around 10, 15 I illustrated to you, but there are more than that, about more than 30 TechFin kind of fields they open up. The canvas is large,
Yeah.
and IFSC has done a wonderful job by opening this era. So SupTech is also one of the services included in a TechFin category, and it's a brilliant idea, I would say that, because companies that provide technology solutions to IFSC itself and regulator also, it can be used by IFSC and other regulators.
Yes.
So this is again a good area added in. So these are the few illustrative services I have taken out of more than 30 fintech areas have been opened up to allow them to set up their offices. I have given about 10-15 different opportunities. one should evaluate the notification and try and venture into this. It's really useful. I personally recommend that one should try and make a maximization of the wealth by setting up their office in this IFSCA jurisdiction.
Yes.
They can serve not IFSCA units or IFSCA company, but globally they can serve, and they can make a use of their technology. That's what my perceptions as far as the TechFin is concerned. Now coming to ancillary services.
Yes.
Earlier ancillary services were divided and then also taken a different shapes under the IFSC.
Yeah.
So earlier it was only a few services, 7-8 services they included initially. I am talking about the way back 2018-19 onwards, and then after 19 IFSC has taken a role in 20. They prescribe some of the regulations. They cover up a 7-8 services, and these 7-8 services further been expanded in form of the BATF, that is bookkeeping, accounting and other taxations, all these other services. But there was a huge demand in the society, in the business community, that other than this also some services should be included in an ancillary area, and IFSC is really a kind of it. And then they allowed a lot of other areas also to be included, which are getting a support services from very ancillary service providers, and therefore they can now set up their shops. So few example is that legal service firm, they can put in their services. Then the accounting and auditing, they can also put up their services. Then fund administration service, that also can be put up their legal their services in that ancillary areas. Compliance management services, that is also been included. Then risk management and advisory services, that is also been included. So there are big lists also, huge list also. Human services, earlier we have got a couple of inquiries on payroll processing.
Yeah.
We approached them, but unfortunately at that time these regulations were not in our place. But now under the HR management and payroll processing, it's a wonderful thing that the services is included in a payroll. And you see that in a payroll, particularly a lot of firms globally concentrated on exclusive payroll services.
Yes.
And now they can come here and they can set up their shops. They do a payroll because there are huge number of employees are employed by number of large corporates. It's running in thousands of numbers, and therefore manually it is never been possible to run payrolls by doing it on a computer programming. So there is a payroll service provider they provide, so they can come and set up their offices. Human resources management also they can do while putting up their shop here. So it's a part of the human resources and payroll services. Then valuation also, there are a lot of firms. There are big valuation firms. They provide the valuation for the sale. They provide the valuation for the properties. They provide the valuation for the enterprise.
Yes.
So they can set up their shops here and they will earn the foreign exchange. Secretarial services, one of the part. Corporate services, that is also been well-known services. Trusteeship services also been included.
Okay.
Then consultancy services of any nature related to finance.
Okay.
That is also been allowed in this. Then KPO is also allowed, and it's a very good move that KPO has been allowed. Lot of inquiries we have so far. They are in a KPO. If KPO has been established in these jurisdictions related to a finance, certainly they will enjoy all the benefits, and there is a lot of potentials of KPO development in this jurisdiction.
Yes.
Then data processing and management services also been allowed. Actuarial services also been permitted now, because actuarial services earlier were not included very categorically. Now actuarial services also included, because in the insurance business it was very useful. So they allowed now actuarial service provider also to set up their shops in these jurisdictions. BPO, of course, they allowed in that jurisdictions. Treasury management now already they have the category separately under the Global Capability Center, but some of them are not having a huge treasury, but they can set up a treasury management kind of, will put their treasury work under that, and then they can also do a outside work. So that scope is also available. Leasing services of aviation and ship is also been allowed.
Yes.
And investor relationship and communication, that also been allowed. So it's a huge potentials in these jurisdictions. IFSC is now opened, and more particularly I will say that one should try and think about the business element which are at least related to finance. There is some possibility they can set up their offices there, and they can earn the income, they can make the money, they can make it tax-free money, and it is for at least next 10 years, and there will be huge saving. Nowadays the tax rate is ranging between the 15% to 30%.
Yes.
So this much saving, any enterprise can make it. It's a huge saving over a period of time. So there are huge TechFin services and ancillary services are having an opportunity to do the business in these jurisdictions.
Okay, sir. I must say, sir, it's a very important and useful information which you have provided just now for all the business sectors to move their steps in the global market.
Okay.
So, sir, moving forward to our next question, who do these regulations apply to, and what are the key requirements for registration?
The key requirement is the appointment of the principal officers and compliance officers. That is the key requirements, because each and every activity need to be monitored and reported by principal officers and the key management, which include the compliance officers, and therefore they have to comply with this. And the standard of the services should be very high, because it's a global service providers entity, and this is the prime requirement, that you should have a quality driven service provide quality driven services to be provided, and it should be monitored continuously by the principal officers and the compliance officers.
Okay. Sir, what happens to the entities that are already operating in IFSC under the previous frameworks? Is there any transition period?
Yeah, it's a transition period they have given, that they given an option that the existing service provider like us, suppose they are in this market for quite long, and we have been given opportunity to get registered under the new regulations.
Yes.
For in a 12 months time, and they also provided one more opportunity. If there are some transition hitches, then under 24 months they allow it for getting a registration under the new regulations.
Okay. So moving forward to the next question, the regulation mentioned fit and proper criteria. What does that entail for an applicant?
For fit and proper criteria, normally more popularly having a word from the corporate governance, and the RBI is always insisting for this kind of the things, that the person who is handling this kind of the businesses
Yes.
must be of a high integrity, and that is an expectation. So therefore he should not be indulged into any economic offensive activity or any criminal activity or any money laundering activity, and he should have a high standard of the integrity. That is the idea of the fit and proper criteria.
Okay. Sir, what are the new requirements for key personnel, specifically for principal officer and compliance officer?
They should be well experienced, at least to run that business. That is the requirement. They expect that the principal officer at least having some reasonable kind of experience. Like for fund management entity, they expect some 10 or 15 years of experience. Similarly, these are the service sectors where this much long the period is not expected, but a reasonable period and the reasonable degree of a person is required to hold the post of the principal officers and the compliance officers.
Okay, sir. How do the regulation address the issue of international compliance and anti-money laundering measures?
The regulations are aligned to FATF kind of things, or any money laundering, anti-money laundering norms. It is totally aligned to that. If you see that the reporting part also, you have to report so many things. While getting a registration also, you have to get the AML reporting also. The promoters, directors or partners or the principal officers, their credentials are always being checked, and finally the license is given by the IFSC. So these jurisdictions is having the aligned regulations as per the global standards of FATF, we may say.
Okay. So what are the rules regarding currency and financial reporting of these new entities?
The rules is same as you know, friends. The transaction is always been done in these jurisdictions in a foreign currency, and that foreign currency other than the Indian rupees. So only foreign currency transactions are allowed in these jurisdictions.
Okay.
You have to do the accounting in these jurisdictions of foreign currency, but for your administrative purpose or tax purpose, you can open one SNRR account, which is permitted by Reserve Bank of India.
Okay.
You can transfer the money from the forex account to this SNRR account, and you may use that money for your day-to-day expenses.
Okay. Sir, what is the significance of having a single window IT system for the application process?
Yeah, it is in a short form, it is known as SWIT, SWIT, single window IT systems.
Okay.
Now, the bureaucratic clutches are being removed because of these systems, because you have to upload all the papers on online platform. It's an online platform.
Okay.
And your SEZ application as well as the IFSC applications, you have to prepare it. You have to prepare a business plan, you have to give all the details of directors and their credentials, everything. But all these things are being scanned and uploaded on this. IFSC and SEZ official will access those papers and they will process it based on the merit, and if they make a call also for any further clarifications while they convene the meeting. Their meeting is also regularly held in jurisdictions. They will give an online opportunity, and again you have been given a chance to submit on a SWIT portal requirements. So it's a very good initiative of the IFSC officials to do the ease of doing in these jurisdictions. It's appreciable things that they have done. It has taken time. Particularly these regulations is now being introduced. So initially they said that you process these documents on one email they have provided, but in a short while, in a month or two, because all other things are already online.
Yeah.
So similar to that, it will have the online access on SWIT portal, and you will get your registrations in a speedy manner.
That's all for this episode. For more such videos, please follow our channel and please like and share this video. Thank you.